I definitely need help. Yeah, as you can see, I can't really, put it together like that. I wasn't gifted with with the eye and, the ability to put, clothes together and stuff like that. Was you always like a fly guy, like growing up?
I always was into fashion. I always, tried to dress from a youngster. So
Right,
I was
right.
always into, that's just what I did. So I always liked clothes. I always liked to put on. I always was a shoe guy. You know what I mean? So pretty much from a youngster, I always liked fashion.
Okay. What brands was popular when you was
Back
coming up?
then, when I was coming up, back then, see, people think even MCM, they think that's new, but MCM was way back in the '80s, late '80s. So that was old back then. MCM sweatsuits, um, uh, Leocat Sportif, that was a hot item back then. Taiwan, you know, even Fila, they bringing that stuff back, but that stuff we used to do back then. Back then, 8 ball jackets was the thing. They rebrung those back out. But one of the hottest things was leather and silk jackets. It was a leather jacket that had silk patches, different colors all over it.
Okay.
So that was a hot thing in Philly. And then, of course, the jean jackets that had the city all over it, like the graffiti graphics. So that was pretty dope and pretty hot, back then. Reeboks, high top Reeboks with the different colors. The classic ones, high tops, just the one strip that was pretty classic, all different colors. So back then I used to have all the colors, red and yellow Reeboks and turquoise and burgundy. And of course, Gucci. Gucci never goes out of style. That's like
Okay.
my favorite design brand is Gucci because Gucci is classic. It's gonna always be there when all these new designers pop up. Yeah, they'll last for a little bit, but Gucci always gonna be there. So that's probably my favorite designer
What is it about Gucci that makes it your favorite?
because it's classic.
Yeah.
Gucci do have some products that they come out with that they come out with for now, but you can always go back to Gucci. They gonna keep something classic that you can wear that's back in the '80s and still wear it right now. So
Right.
that's what I love about Gucci. They gonna keep it classic.
Right. Right. How long has Styles by Shy been around?
So Styles by Shy been in existence since 2007. Um, Started off, small. I used to work corporate America for about 15, 16 years as an accountant analyst. And I actually started it at work. At work, we used to have to dress up, wear ties, shirts. And one day during Christmas time, I had got 20 ties, brought them to work, set them up real nicely on my desk, and people used to come to my desk and just buy ties. And that's how Styles by Shot started, with 20 ties at my desk at my corporate America job. And what I did was I sold those 20 ties, then I flipped them, got some more ties. Flipped that, then I got some accessories, like got some cufflinks. Then I found one little vendor in this catalog book to sell suits out of. I used to take that book, pass it around the office because we had to dress up. So people used to get suits from me, order suits from that one little book. And from there, I just started doing my homework. From there, I started going out as after I built, little accessories. I started going out vending little shows, fashion shows, church conferences, going around the city vending, and then from there, I started doing fashion shows. Because I started building up my inventory, and I started having little suits and stuff like that. And then finally, I found myself into the custom, and I found one little plug that could do custom. I had two people that sold for me right here in the city, and I just designed it. And then from there, it started, you know, it started getting big for me. Doing the fashion shows. But I was before I even had a store or anything, I would go to people's houses and do appointments, or I'll go set up on City Line Avenue at the hotel and pull out my stuff, and people would come there. And that's where I would meet them. So I would be lugging stuff around. I'm doing fashion shows on the weekend, lugging clothes and clothes, doing fashion because I'm trying to get my name out there. Then I started getting into Philly Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week, Atlantic City Fashion Week, and from there, people started knowing me. I got with this production company out of Philadelphia, Premier Production. I started doing their fashion shows for all the sororities, Kappa shoes, AKAs, Deltas, all those different ones. And that's where people started knowing me. And then, of course, from there, I really started taking it seriously. And now, this, which was my little part time gig, became my full time gig.
Right.
And then, what really happened for me in 2013, I got laid off my job that I was on for 13, 14 years. And really, I was ready to go, but that's what pushed me into say, hey, I'm going to just push me. And at first, I had a family, was married. So at first, it was like, all right, I got to get another job. And I took this little job that I was making half of what I was making before. And I said, man, if I put this into me, man, I can make this work. I may not make what I was making on my job, but I can, put more time into me. And that's what I did. So I said, I'm not going to take no job unless, it's really worth taking. And I started pushing my brand. I really started pushing social media. I started getting out there, going to networking, going to different places that was having events. And I'll just dress up me, looking fashionable, come in there, I had my cards, just pass them out. And of course, still kept doing my fashion shows, still kept being in Philly Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week, AC Fashion, anywhere I could get my name out there. I was working. And then finally, 2015, I opened up my store. God blessed me where it just fell in my lap. And it was like, wow, I'm getting ready to have my own store. And that's when people really started taking it really serious. Like, okay, he really legit for real. Because people want to know, like, all right, is this something you just doing for a hobby? Is this something just to make a couple dollars? Or is this what you want to do? But this has always been my passion. Opened up the store 2015, I think July of 2015. Opened up the store. And 2016, proms, I was doing proms. Proms was doing really good. And then I finally did, I don't know if you know, but if you from Philly, everybody know when I got with Saudia Shuler from Country Cooking, and I did her son's prom, and we did Brung Dubai to North Philly.
That's you did that.
That's what like took my, I had a pretty good following by working and grinding, but once I did that Dubai prom, it just took my business like, so I always, thank God for meeting Saudia, and that's my sister, that's my family, and together we collaborated on that. And from there, we built a relationship where then we just started doing themed proms every year from there. But that one Dubai prom took it took everywhere. We was on every news channel. We was going on Good Morning America. We was on Power 99.
I remember.
It just went everywhere. It really, Dubai prom really reached Dubai. That's how big it was. We both joked now and said we knew it was gonna be big, but we didn't think it was gonna get that big. It just went, crazy. It went viral. And then from there, I just today reposted the Wakanda theme prom that we did. So from there, we did Wakanda theme, we did James Bond theme, we did Princess theme, and it was just crazy. And we collaborated with Saudi where she gave away the 22 proms, and that just took it, to a whole nother level.
Okay.
And that's all she wrote.
Right.
From there now, it's like it's not just proms now. It's weddings. It's people just come in, just want to get custom suits for photo shoots. They doing it for birthday parties. They doing it for Christmas events. They doing it for job events. And now it's just steady, not just Philly, Delaware, New Jersey, but I have clients that drive from Connecticut, from Pittsburgh, clients in Atlanta, Cleveland, all over the country now. People know about Stylist Chey.
Right. What other celebrities have you worked with, or high profile people?
I don't want to call out their names, but Stylist Chey have done a lot of had the opportunity to do a lot of celebrities or famous people.
Okay.
So I don't want to call their names, but we had the opportunity to do a couple.
I saw on your on your Instagram page you had something like with a relationship conference or something of that nature.
Yeah. So that people know Stylist Chey for my styling and for me designing suits and all, but also I'm a pastor. Okay. So with that, I started a ministry in 2016 with my former wife, who passed away in 2019, and we started at 2016. And just this past Sunday, we celebrated 5 years. So now I'm remarried, and with my new wife, we pastored together, myself and Pastor Stylist Smith. pastor New Generation Church, and we celebrated 5 years of our church anniversary just this past week. So yeah, going into that, we last month was called a relationship series that we did. So we had last month where we had couples from Valentine's night, brought them to the church, set it up real nice, and we had a great time with the couples. Made it real intimate, had fun and games, and photo booth to enjoy your spouse, and talked about relationships and what it is to be in relationships, the downs and the good times of relationships. And then that series for the whole month, we dealt with friends in relationships, we dealt with singles in relationships, we dealt with married couples in relationships, and then we also talked about church relationships, and of course a relationship with God.
Right. So nowadays, a lot of relationships and marriages are failing. What 3 things would you say is at the top of the list that a relationship should have that should sustain a relationship over a long period of time and just keep it together?
Well, number one is God. God should be first in the midst of the marriage, because God is the one that brings us together. He says, we're separate as one, but then when we get married and united, we become as one together. And he's the only one that can keep us together. So he's that knot in between. So God first, keep him first in your marriage. But secondly is communication. Communication is a big key, and that goes on both sides. And not just communicating you verbally talking with your mouth, but also communication is listening. So listening is the big part of communication. Listening to the other, the person needs, the person's weaknesses, the person's strengths, so that you know that. So then you know how to communicate. So if I don't know your weaknesses, I don't know how to speak to you as a whole. If I don't know your strengths, I don't know how to speak to you as a whole. If I don't know, the downfalls, I don't know the good parts of you, I can't speak to you as a whole. I can't communicate right. If I don't know what you like or what you don't like, I can't really communicate to you, because I don't know you as a whole. So communication is key, but also listening is a big key of communication. And then thirdly is, I think a big one is to be friends. I think a lot of times people come together, but they're not friends in their relationship, in their marriage. They just, all right, we married, and you do you and I do me, and then we'll come together. But they don't really have a friendship. Friendship is, hey, this is someone I can share with. This is someone I can cry with. This is someone I love to be around. I don't want to be like, dang, I don't even want to go home. But I think those 3 are the biggest key: God, communication, and then having friendship.
Right. So what do you think is the factor that's making relationships not last long today? Like what?
Well, that's a lot of factors in that. Some, I think some don't really know what love is. I tell people all the time, you may say you love the person, I'm in love with them, and you get married, but you don't truly know you love that person until challenge comes. That's when you know you love them. Because love will make you stay even when you want to walk away. Love will make you, figure this thing out. And I think that's the thing now, is like people give up so quickly, for the smallest thing. And then the biggest thing, the number one thing in divorce, and this is in the church and outside the church, is finances. We're not good stewards over our finances. This world, we want to spend. We want to look good, show that, especially with this social media now, we want to show we look good on social media, look good in how we dress. But then you go home and your house is a mess and things falling down, your finance, your bank account negative, you ain't got no savings, you don't got no life insurance, none of those things. And that is the number one reason of divorce, is finances.
Right. What's a bummy day for you like?
People that say all the time, like, man, do you ever? Yeah, I guess now I like throwing on sweatsuits. I probably got a lot of sweatsuits. Like, I love sweatsuits, but even for me, it's not a bummy day throwing on a sweatsuit, because I'm going to try to make that sweatsuit look fly. And I think because I'm a stylist, because I'm a designer, you wouldn't want nobody to style you if they don't look good. So I gotta always come out the house. I can't just come out the house and just throw anything on, because I never know who I'm gonna run into and say, hey, Styles by Shop, or hey, I'm looking for somebody to do something for me. First thing somebody gonna look, if you want me to style you or make you something, you're gonna look at how they look.
Right.
If you're a shoe salesman, first thing I'm gonna look at is your shoes. If your shoes looking all messed up, I'm gonna be like, nah.
Right. Same thing if you're a personal trainer.
Right. And
and
you
you're
not
not in
fit.
shape.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you not in shape. You know, your belly like this, and you talking about, yeah, I can train you and get you, make you lose weight. Well, you not even doing it.
right, right, right. Um, you mentioned earlier about you getting laid off from your job. I know a lot of people that have side businesses and just different things that they want to do full time. But when do they take that leap by faith?
Well, that first has to be in you. The, I tell all the time that the Bible says that God has given us all a measure of faith, which meaning that you don't have more than me, I don't have less than you. It's about, have you ignited that faith? So your faith has to be ignited to step out. So we allow fear, because fear is birthed out of faith, right? Because why do you say that? I say that because it's not until I step out on something I can't see is when fear is going to arise. Because I'm fearful because I can't see where I'm going, what's coming next. Where 9 to 5, I know every 2 weeks, every week, or every 15th of the month, I'm gonna get paid as long as I go to work. As
Right.
long as I do what I'm supposed to do. So I know that's guaranteed. But in the business, even mine, it's not guaranteed. I'm depending on people calling me, people, wanting to get stuff made. Even during this pandemic, I've been, graced enough and fortunate enough that, man, my phone still ring. People still want to get things done. Weddings are still, happening. Even now, proms are slower than usual, but, some people still, want to get stuff, made and produced. So, um, it takes a person, you got to step out in faith. And number one, you got to have the passion for whatever it is that you want to do, because just like any business, not just because of the pandemic, but even when things was just normal, we all gonna hit a slope where things are not on the high. So if it's not your passion and the money's not coming in like you wanted to come in, all right, what do I do to get that money to come in now? So if it's not your passion and you just doing it for the money, you're gonna find something else, because now the money not coming in like I thought it was coming in for this. This was my passion. So when it's not, I'm figuring it out. I'm posting something every day. I'm pushing my brand every day. I'm doing something to keep pushing it, keep pushing it, keep pushing it. I'm trying to invest back into my business to take it to another level. So it got to be your passion, number one. Because if it's not your passion, like I said, when that money ain't coming in, you ain't gonna try to figure out what can I do. You're gonna be like, all right, what can I do next to get some money?
Right, right. So what's next for your business? Like, you know, I don't know of any other designers, but what's next for your business as far as like I don't know, like maybe dressing people for a movie or stuff like that.
Well, that's always, I definitely want to take it to another level. But my next thing that I'm planning to do coming out and in the fall, Styles by Shy will travel to you. So we'll come to wherever you at and style you. We'll come, I do that now in the region, Philadelphia, Delaware, New Jersey. For people that I style or create or make something for, I come and style them there. But now we want to take it to another level where we'll come to your state.
Okay.
You fly us in, and we'll come there and style you. We'll come there and fit you. We'll come there and tailor you up. And you don't have to come here to my business to set up your consultation point. But now we want to take it where we can come to you. And then of course, I have done people for BET Awards, stuff like that. But of course, I want to get a higher scale of clients as well.
Okay. All right. So where can people find you?
So of course, Styles by Shy. If you're in the area here, we have our location, which is at 409 North Whitehorse Pike, Somerdale, New Jersey 08083. But you also can go to our website, which is www.stylesbyshydesigns.com. For all our social media, you can go to IG, which is Instagram, Styles by Shy. You can go to Facebook, which is Styles by Shy, or Cheyenne Smith Facebook page, and find us. So that's all my places you can find us. On my IG, you can go to right to my IG, and you can go to my website from there. Our email information, my direct contact information, all that is right there for you.
Okay. You want to leave the viewers with some words of encouragement, some wisdom?
Sure. Well, all I can say is, first find what's your passion, and once you find what's your passion, then allow God to ignite that faith that He's put in you. a lot of people, I think, especially now during this pandemic time, this is the time for you to start that business. This is the time for you to go ahead and put that idea that you've been having written down and start it. Especially now because they're giving you free money. They're giving you so much money out there for us now to start businesses. So if that's you today, I just encourage you to go with your passion, to go and step out in faith now and apply for that money because they're giving it out to you. You know, we didn't have the resources before, but now you have the resources. But first I'll tell you is keep God first, and, invest in yourself.
Hey, appreciate you talking to me. Thanks for your time.
Yep, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
All right.